So, hello, my name is Russ. I'm an advisor at USC. And the story that I'm going to share is my own personal story, and it's one that I often share with my students to kind of help them get through their final semesters. Whenever they're trying to get to their final degree requirements and worried about finishing, I'll share the story of how it took me 6.5 years to complete my undergraduate degree. So, my very last semester of undergrad, it was my 5th year already at Saginaw Valley State. And I was in the very last class that I needed for my requirements to be completed and get my degree. I was going through a lot of personal problems at the time, and I went to the counseling office and kind of discussed those problems and had a couple of sessions there to figure out what I needed to do to move on in life. And I didn't follow those steps, and ultimately ended up failing that class. And the way that the program was structured, this class was only offered once every year. So upon the completion of this class and or failure in this particular case, I had to wait an entire academic year in order to take that class again. So that's how I became a 6.5-year graduate. So I share this story with students to kind of help encourage them in a number of different ways, depending on what they're dealing with. I use it if they're a little bit nervous about talking to counseling and how to get their life in order. So I'll share a little bit more on that piece of my story to kind of encourage them to utilize that service to help them get on track and complete their requirements. But more often I share it to encourage them to talk to their instructors, and I share the method I used the second time I took this particular class to graduate. And that at the time was to talk to the instructor once a week to verify that I'm understanding the material, and just spending that time each week. Even if it wasn't something that I didn't or I already kind of understood, I would go to that professor's office once a week just to make my face known and just clarify what I already knew, just to make that present. So again, I use this in a number of ways, and I often use my own personal narratives in order to accomplish some goals with working with my students. So there you are.